I was trying to tell you that I wasn't okay, and you bashed me. People in black households don't really get to speak on how they really feel because the notion is pray about it.
Sometimes I wake up and I feel like I just, can't get out of bed.
Nobody really knows what people go through behind closed doors. I fell into a depression. 2016 had to be mentally the worst year I've ever. I will say I never got to a place where I wanted to kill myself. But if I could be in a world where I never had to interact with people ever again, that's where I was at. It was like a switch. I just felt, it's like I fell into this hole. I was really dealing with that shit by myself. And I didn't know if I was going to come out of it. Let's just get this one over with, because I'm kind of dreading this. I mean a lot. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Angie. Welcome back to another episode of On the Rocks podcast. I am coming to you from another location within my house. So for those that are listening on the audio, I'm sitting on my bed now, and I actually don't like this, but well, what has it been, like 2 seconds before the shenanigans already started? Okay. Yeah, so anyway, getting into today's episode, this is going to be an extremely heavy episode, similar to, I'm getting pissed, y'all. Like, I wait so long, or I try to get up early as I can, thinking of a good time. It won't be so much shenanigans outside, and it never works out that way. So apologies again. But like I said before, I live in New York, and I really do try my best to get rid of outside noises, but realistically that will never happen unless I move to, I don't know, somewhere else, and that's not happening anytime soon. So today we are talking about depression. And I don't know why I did this, but before I was, when I woke up this morning and I was getting ready, I always kind of listen to music. And I was just like, I really want to listen to some Nipsey Hussle. And I don't know why I did that, because my energy is kind of like already sad because of that. And like, I don't know how I'm going to react to this episode today. So I'm already getting hot. Thinking about it, y'all. It's just, ooh, I can't. But let's go ahead and get into the what's in the cup. And I've already pre-gamed before this, so FYI. I kept it real basic, but once again, I kind of wanted like a stronger drink, because we're talking about a heavier topic. So today, the what's in my cup is a whiskey sour. We just have a couple of friends today, so pour some lemons in there if you want. You don't have to use lemons. People put lemons and cherries. I didn't have cherries, so you just stuck with the lemons. Using Jack Daniels today. Pour that thing up in there like so, like that. Come on. Okay, that's enough. And then I'm in cheat mode. I'm using whiskey sour mix that I got from the grocery store. Okay. told you, real bootleg, like, and just top that off like so, like that. I went a little bit more heavy-handed with the whiskey. Y'all know the drill. It is what it is. So that's the what's in my cup for today. So we are talking about dealing with depression for our general topic of this episode, but the ice topics are going to be the build-up, the thick of it, and the strength to make a change. So you know, I like many other people in America, we were dealing with the struggles of depression and, you know, mental health, and some aren't able to pull themselves out of it. Some, you know, deal with it in different ways. There's different ways depression affects you. I'm not saying like this is the only way. The thing that I'm speaking on today is the only way that you'll see people exhibit signs of depression. I'm just speaking on what I've experienced so far, as I dealt with depression, and, you know, currently still deal with it to a certain extent, but nothing compared to what I went through in 2016. The bulk of this conversation will be me speaking on what I went through in 2016 and how I was able to come out of that. I want to say out of all of my years on this earth, my 26 years on this earth, 2016 had to be mentally the worst year I've ever experienced. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So going into the ice topic, the build-up. In 2016, I graduated from undergrad, and I got a job. While I was still in my senior year of high school, I attended the Thurgood Marshall Leadership Institute, and basically it's the opportunity for all of these HBCU students, no matter what your grade is, to come together for a weekend. Or was it a weekend? I can't remember, you guys. I think it was either a weekend or like later on into the week, maybe like a Wednesday to a Saturday or something, or maybe over the weekend, I can't remember. Basically it's just teachable moments, so you get to go to different talks, but you also get to connect and network with people that are at these amazing companies. We'll talk about I think Booz Allen was there, Walmart, American Airlines, Coors, the Army. There's just so many people that's there, and, you know, as the years have gone by, I'm pretty sure they've added more people to the roster. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was just so many, you know, different companies. John Deere, I think Bank of America, Nationwide, or something like that. Like I said, don't quote me on it, but long story short, it was just so many companies, and they are there to provide job opportunities for some of the seniors that are going to be finishing up in the spring with their degree. And they also offer, or they're also there to help a lot of the juniors, freshmen, and sophomores get internships. So since I was a senior, I didn't qualify underneath the category of an internship. I was trying to get a job, you know. So I interviewed with Coors, I think American Airlines, one of those airlines. That was the hardest interview I ever had in my life. I forgot which airline it was, but it was just like, it was crazy to me. I was like, what the fuck? That was intense. So basically, we're all in this hotel. I forgot the name of the hotel, but in DC, we're all in this hotel for that weekend. Everybody's coming from all different HBCUs, and we are in the ballrooms, in actual hotel rooms. You know, there's floors blocked off, and employers and companies are in these hotel rooms. And then in the hallway, when you have your time slot for when you're doing your interview, you just see nothing but students dressed in their suits and going in and out of these rooms to interview with the companies and stuff. So it's a good experience. When we were eating, when it was time to eat, we got an opportunity to mix and mingle with other students from other schools. So just the blackness in that environment was so amazing, and I loved every minute of it. There's a couple of people that I met that I still keep in contact with, and it also was good to see some of my friends from other schools, or even some people that I haven't seen in a long time. I remember Kelly, one of my friends from high school. We kind of fell off a little bit, and it was good to see her representing her school, and it was just like a mini family reunion in a sense, right? So that was so humbling. And then just engaging with the employers and people that can help you excel and get to where you want to go. I was applying and I didn't know. I think I knew, maybe I didn't, but basically, Walmart, I had my time slot for Walmart. They text me to let me know what time my interview was. So I go there, I'm interviewing with 2 people. And I think the role was an area manager. Nothing like I wanted to do. But honestly, I didn't even know what an area manager was. And, sorry to my lead for Winston-Salem State. I'm sorry. I don't, either I didn't do my research on it, or I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna go. Because I think my mindset at that time was not to block my blessings in a sense, and whatever company wanted to meet with me, I was gonna do it, even if I didn't really want to do that job. So I didn't really do my research or really care too much for that role. But the role that I was applying for was area manager. I don't know what the fuck that meant. So I go in my interview. They're asking questions, the basic interview questions, but they're also like asking some tough questions as well. And I just remember talking about HR, because HR is really truly like something that I enjoy doing, hence me going to grad school for it and working in HR for 4 years. But I just kept talking about it. Every answer I was giving, I kind of related it back to the people. I kind of just was always talking about the interaction with people and talking about HR. So I went in there, and how I felt after every interview I did, I felt like I bullshitted it, or it didn't go well. So anyway, the company has the employers, they have your number and stuff. So one of the ladies that I interviewed with, she texted me and she was like, I want you to come and have lunch with us. So I'm like, okay, sure. So I go to have lunch with the Walmart crew, and there's other students there as well. So we're all at this table just eating, still networking, mixing and mingling. And it's kind of dying down now. Everybody's finished their food somewhat, and there are other sessions that we're about to go to. So they start bringing out these envelopes, and I'm just like, what is going on? So one of the head directors or something, I forgot his name, he was just like, I want to thank you all for having lunch with me today. You know, we really liked a lot of the talent that we saw, and we would like to offer you guys positions, full-time positions. And we're all at the table like, what? We're all just like, huh? He was offering us a job after college. Like, what? This is like October. It was like October, November or something. And we still have a whole other semester of school left. But we were just like shook. Like, this man just said that he gonna give us a job. And I think it was like 15 of us at the table, 15 students at the table. So then once it registered to us, you know, what was going on, they gave us the envelope. We opened up the envelope. It had like the title. So everybody was getting these things for area manager. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do that shit. And when I opened up mine, it had HR office manager on it. So I'm like, what? They offered me a job in HR? Like, this is crazy. And some of the other people were just like, you know, what you get, or like, you know, where you gonna be at or something. So I don't know if everybody knew their location ahead of time. Some people knew where they were going to be placed, at what warehouse they were going to be placed at, and I didn't know because my situation was a little bit different. So the lady that I interviewed with, she was just like, she pulled me to the side. She was just like, you have a different title than everybody. We really loved your spirit, your energy in the interview, and we really wanted to offer you a position in HR because that's all you was talking about, and we could tell that you're so interested in doing it. But right now we just don't know where exactly we're going to place you at. So I'm like, okay, cool. Excited, boy. Like, I just got me a job. It had the salary in there too. I think my salary was like $50K or something. I'm like, $50K? Just, I'm about to be graduating out of school, coming out of school with $50K. Like, these hoes gonna be mad, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely call my mom. And I forgot who my roommate was. Oh, my roommate, Ebony. Was it Ebony? Hell, I can't remember. Y'all, I'm so old. I think I got early arthritis. Not arthritis. Alzheimer's or something. Dementia. What is it? Y'all know I just be talking. My mind is like gone. Anyway, so I met this girl, and we were cool. So I called her. I'm in the room like, yo, what should I do? She's like, you should take it. So I accepted. And then it was a little bit of the waiting game when I went back to school. We returned back to school, you know, started to finish out the semester, came into spring semester, and, you know, kind of getting close to graduation. And I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't give me no, they gave me an assignment, but I don't know where I'm going. Like, time is running out. I think I got notified of where my location was going to be either like a couple weeks before graduation or a month before graduation. I don't really remember. But she called me. One of the people from Walmart, they were just like, we are calling to let you know that you're going to be moving to New York. You're going to be placed in New York. So I'm like, oh my God, New York. And then I was like, wait, not New York City. Oh, okay. So after I graduated, I had a couple weeks, and then I graduated mid-May, and I was already moved to upstate New York in June. So it was crazy. It was crazy how fast things, you know, happened. I was excited. I got me this fly ass, beautiful ass 2-bedroom apartment. I don't know why. They helped me I moved from DC. They gave me a stipend and stuff, and relocated me out there. So I get there, and then I'm not too happy with the area, and where I was working, I wasn't happy with the area at all, as I mentioned in the previous episode. So I was trying to find other opportunities in HR in like Albany and stuff, because I was like, Albany is cool. Like, I could stay in Albany. Like, I could go to work. I could see myself working in Albany. But where I was working, I just couldn't see myself working there anymore. And I wasn't getting anywhere. And mentally, like, I was crying on my way to work every single day. I was telling my mom, like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. In the beginning, when I talked to my mom, I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. She was like, just try. Just try. And I tried, but I hated it. I hated it, y'all. Y'all don't understand how much I hated it. And I'm not the type of person that likes to give up on anything. But I mentally could not stay there. I couldn't stay there. So my mom was just like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I've been trying to find something somewhere else. I haven't gotten any hits, but I can't keep staying here waiting on something. And she was like, okay. So she let me come back home to DC. I moved back to DC. I broke my lease at my place. Since I didn't stay the full year with Walmart, I had to pay the money back from relocation. And I was able to work something out with them where I didn't have to pay the full amount. I think they either let me pay like a little bit less than half of it. So yeah, I had to do that. But anything, I was willing to do anything not to be there anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. So I moved back home. And my mom takes care of my grandmother, so she's always back and forth between DC and Alabama. And it'll be sometimes where she'll be there in the house with me, but majority of the time she wouldn't be there. So I basically was like had the house in DC to myself. And I moved back. I was excited to be back, but I just remember December, I lost it. And when I say lost it, like mentally, I lost it. It was like a switch. And I just felt, it's like I fell into this hole. Like this black hole. And I was trying to pull myself out of it, but I couldn't. I think the turning point for me was me excited to be back home, but then realized like I was at home, and I felt like I failed. I felt like I failed. I felt like I did all that, and by me coming back home to live with my mom, like I felt like a child. I felt like a failure. And then I was applying for jobs. Like I said, one thing about me, I don't ever give up. I'm very persistent. But it was just the rejection that really pushed me over the edge and pushed me so far into that sunken, dark place that I didn't know if I was ever going to come out. I was obsessed with applying for jobs. I would apply for jobs all day long. I'm talking about at least sending like 40 to 50 applications every day. I couldn't sleep. I wasn't eating. all I wanted to do was just get on my computer and just apply. So in the beginning stages of that, I was just addicted, kind of like addicted to just applying. And then once I started to get like a handful of rejection letters, not letters, but rejection emails, that's when I started moving into a different space mentally. Which brings me to the next ice topic, the thick of it. So once I started to get those rejection letters, and not letters, I keep saying letters, but emails from not moving to the next steps for jobs, I fell into a depression. I didn't really get out of bed that much anymore. I cried every night. I never really opened the blinds. I did take showers now, because you know some people don't do anything at all. I did take showers and stuff, and I was eating, you know, here and there. So it kind of switched to moments where I wasn't eating, and then it switched to I was eating all the time. And it was difficult for me because my mom would come, like I said, she would go back and forth between DC and Alabama, and when she would come back, I didn't want to be bothered. And my mom is the type of person that, you know, she loves me to death and always like just want to hang out, just really just want to hang out, want to talk, want to laugh, want to have a good time. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't even want her here. But how do I say that? Like, she my mom. What I'm gonna do, kick her out of her own damn house? Because I wasn't paying for nothing. Besides like the food in the house. I brought the food for the house. And like gas for the cars and stuff, but realistically I wasn't paying no bills. It was bad. It was so bad, y'all. It was really bad. I just I just remember, I will say I never got to a place where I wanted to kill myself. But if I could be in a world where I never had to interact with people ever again, that's where I was at. And while I do value my space, I do like going out, and I do love being around people, and my friends and stuff would just want to like hang out, and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do nothing. I remember texting them. They would call and stuff, and I never really wanted to talk. Or if they do call, I would take forever to call them back. And when I was on the phone with them, like faking laughing, faking smiling, I wasn't happy. Nothing against them, but I wasn't all the way there. I remember texting them one day, and I just said, look, I just need to be left alone right now. And they were like, okay. And they left me alone. But they still would check on me, every now and then. But it's kind of like with them, like they're understanding, but they're not going to let it linger so long. And then it got pretty bad. My mom was in my room one day, and she was just like, what's wrong with you? I was just like, I'm tired. I just don't want to be bothered. She's like, what are you tired from? And I was just like, I got a lot going on. So, I start off here, right? We talking, so my volume is here. It just escalated. And she was just like, don't talk to me like that. And I wasn't being, like, I didn't say anything disrespectful. My voice was just like raised, because I'm like, I'm literally telling you, like, something is not right in this moment, and you're bashing me because you don't understand. Or you're bashing me because I'm supposed to be strong all the time. And this is where we get into the situation from black parents, and how kids and people in black households don't really get to speak on how they really feel, because the notion is, pray about it. You lucky you alive right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get to a point where you feel comfortable speaking on it, where you're basically saying to somebody, I'm not okay, you get the fire from your parents, or you get the fire from your family. Like, how you feel is not valid. How you feel is irrelevant. How you feel doesn't make sense, because they don't understand it. They diminish you as a person. And that it really like made me feel even worse, because at that moment I'm saying to you, I'm not okay. And you turn around and you gang up on me like I'm disrespecting you. I'm treating you a certain type of way. I'm literally just saying to you, like, I am not okay. Your daughter is not okay. Your daughter has been depressed for months. Your daughter has been crying. Your daughter doesn't eat, or your daughter eats all the time. Your daughter doesn't want to hang out with people. Your daughter is in a really bad space right now. But with black households, when we speak up on how we're feeling, we always get that backlash, right? And coming into the present time really quickly, my mom and I've always had a really good relationship, but that was a moment. That was a moment, and it was a learning moment for both her and I, and she gets it now. We've talked about it. I said, all I wanted to do was just tell you, like, I wasn't okay. I was depressed. I wasn't okay. I was trying to tell you that I wasn't okay, and you bashed me. You about to put me out the house. I was depressed. I was in a weak state for months. And when she left me, I was really by myself. I was really dealing with that shit by myself. And I didn't know if I was going to come out of it. That's all I was trying to say. Like, you're gone all the time. You don't know how it feels to put in these applications, and I know I have skills, and I know I'm capable of doing this job, but they don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. I'm getting one hit, but 50 plus rejections. You know what I'm saying? So we talked about it. Excuse me. And she's more understanding now. And I talked to my mom about, any and everything. Well, not everything. Oh, now you can't tell about the bodies and stuff. So yeah, we're at a better space, and she's more understanding. And it's going to take more people in the black communities, in the black households, to be more understanding of their children, to be more of this understanding of just people within their family in general. There's different signs, there's different ways people navigate through. There's different ways people are depressed. Not one person is the same, and there's different trigger points. So I don't know. So I want to move into the next topic of the strength to make a change, or the strength to kind of pull myself out of it. DC has employment centers, and I'm pretty sure a lot of cities have this. But I went to an employment center just to see if I can tap into another resource to help me find something. Like I said, I was doing everything. Indeed, Glassdoor, fucking Craigslist, LinkedIn. I was on that. Like I said, I wasn't sleeping at night. I was obsessed with, whenever there was a new job, I'm on it. And I even got to the point where I was doing things even outside of applying for HR, going back to the basics, and doing like an entry-level job, and then eventually I put myself on a deadline, and I was just like, yo, if you can't find something to serve as a career move, then you might want to go back to retail. You might want to go into food and do something that way, so you can at least establish an income. Because by then, like, my checks and my savings and stuff was running out. Well, not running out, but my mom didn't really like put me on like a set deadline or something, because she knows how I am. She knows I am going to grind till I can't grind no more. But I really just wanted to find something to be a career. I could have easily went and did something like in the retail or food to just have some money, but I just wanted to find something in my career. So I put myself on a deadline. I was like, if I don't hear something in the next 3 weeks, I'm just gonna go and get a job at a food place, or go back to retail. So I wanted to tap into another network of trying to find a job. So I was like, what the hell, let me check out the employment center. So I went down by Benning Road, and they have a building, and you meet with like career people, or stuff like that. So I went there with my resume. You go through like some type of orientation or something, or they block off a time to kind of walk you through like how to utilize their system and stuff, and then you set up an appointment with somebody. So I did that. I did the orientation, and then you go wait, and they set you up with like a career person or something. So this lady was my person. and she just asked me like what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in, and or what I'm looking for, and how's things been. And I remember just telling her, I was like, I've tried everything. I don't sleep, I don't eat, I'm on it. And she was showing me jobs, and I was like, I already applied for that. I already applied for that. I already applied for that. I saw that. I already applied for that. I applied for that. I didn't get it. So, you know, it wasn't necessarily that she was showing me things that I didn't already know. And then she was just like, there's this program. I forgot what program it was, y'all. I'm sorry. And she was trying to get me in it. I think the deadline had already stopped for it, and she was trying to get me in it. So she set up some time, or took me to like another she took me to another section of the building, and she was really trying to help me. And that was the first time like I felt a little bit better, because she was really trying to help. Like I did it on my own for so long, and I really just felt defeated. But here I am, having this lady that I just met today instilling a little bit of hope in me, and that kind of just made me smile for the first time. When I remember getting back in my car and just smiling. I had forgot what that felt like, because it was so long since I smiled. And she gave me her card and stuff, and she said that she was going to try to see if I was able to get into the next, either get into the program or get into the next one or something like that. It was either already closed or about to end or something like that. I don't know. And I just am forever grateful for her. She doesn't really know the impact that she had on me. So ultimately that kind of started slowly turning things around and started pulling me out of that space. So I just kept, I went back and just, kept grinding and kept applying to different places, and ultimately got a hit. It wasn't like I wasn't getting hits, but you go through the interview and then it just get you get rejected, and throughout different stages. So I went through the process. I did the interview, and ended up getting the job in HR. So I didn't really have to settle or start again. I was blessed after all that time to still get something in my field that I was interested in, and that was like a turning point for me. Started increasing my faith and really tapping into the goodness of God, and being grateful for Him and all that He has done, all that He's brought me through, and I'm still a work in progress, as many things that people go through in their lives. But that was a really, really hard time in my life, and a lot of people that are in school, graduate, and are embarking on new journeys feel how I felt. That depression, post-grad depression, is real. It can hit you at any time. It can hit you throughout different stages, but it happens. And some people are still working through that, and some people don't come out of it. So I'm forever grateful, and when I get an opportunity, I always tell my story. And I appreciate my mom for understanding and growing and learning about that, because that easily could have placed a wedge in our relationship, because she didn't get it. So it's important. It's important. And if you know people that are going through depression, just be of some support. But don't push yourself up on them. You know, it's sometimes it's you think it's helpful, sometimes it's not. I don't ever want to go back to that feeling, but like I said, things happen in our lives that we don't really have control over. So I try my best to navigate and push forward every day. And I still have moments where I feel down from certain things, but that's my story and how I've dealt with depression, and how 2016 really was a shitty year for me. But this is all part of us telling our stories as people, and you know, we do have similarities as people, but there are also many differences. And with my personality and my spirit, nobody would have known what I was really going through. Nobody really knows what people go through behind closed doors. I was still on the gram, you know, still like smiling, finessing, like everything was cool. But as soon as I posted my picture or put my post on there, those curtains closed and blinds shut, and I was in a place where it was just me, and I didn't know if I was gonna come out. I didn't know if I was gonna come out. That wasn't so bad. Like I said, you guys, I have stories. This is not your regular podcast. This is getting into some real shit. And again, I appreciate everybody's support so far, and those that have reached out to say that, you know, thank you for speaking. Thank you for telling your story. I know somebody that's gone through that, or I've gone through it myself. So this is ultimately one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this. So I appreciate you taking the time. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, thank you so much. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, I appreciate you. Thank you for bearing with me. Like I mentioned before, the heavier topics will be a little bit longer because I can't rush speaking on some real ass shit, and I won't rush speaking on some real ass shit. So again, thank you for bearing through with me. I thought I was gonna hit the ugly cry. I woke up this morning, I'm like, today's the day I'm gonna be crying. So I did have a moment earlier, but the tears just, you know, baby tears. But I have cried some ugly crocodile tears throughout my life. So yeah, it's cool. I guess sometimes I don't really have the tears anymore. But yes, thank you all again. Seriously, thank you all for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, you guys.